Why do we sit here being silent, watching our leaders turn into tyrants? Have they forgotten which side they're fighting for? Checks and balances set aside and rule of laws, youths and ours, and Constitution openly ignored. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Is it time for right and left to join a greater cause? Man, I'm not okay. The rich claim to be victimized just to attack the marginalized. This 1% really worth more than all the sick and poor. Always preaching about fellowship while planning their dictatorship. Now we've seen how all of this plays out before. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Time for you and I to join our country's call. Man, I'm not okay. Ever wonder all the mystery, why they whitewash our history, keep dividing is their plan? All in all, such a scam. Algorithm very sly, only used to spread the lies. Politicians know well, hate is simple to upsell. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Time for you and I to join our country's call.
We are not okay. America is not okay, and we all know that. Former Congressman Joe Walsh, this is The Social Contract with Joe Walsh. Let's figure out how to get okay together. Hey, I think it's pretty safe to say, and I think everyone listening to me right now, even privately, will agree with what I'm about to say. In this age of Trump, Democrats have primarily been weak, pretty feckless, pretty afraid, pretty timid, have not met the moment, still been too driven by the pollsters and the consultants. In this age of Trump, Democrats have been pussies. I think that's pretty safe to say. Democrats in this age of Trump haven't recognized this moment. And if you can't recognize this moment, recognize what we're in, recognize that that guy in the White House is something unique, something we ain't never had before. He's the very thing our founders feared. We have a fascist in the White House. We have a man who believes he's above the law in the White House. We have a man who's openly corrupt in the White House. We have a man who's abjectly cruel in the White House. We have a sociopath in the White House. This isn't about Trump, though. This has been going on now for 10 years, and the Democratic Party generally reacting to this has been just, They've been hiding. They've been afraid to fight, afraid to punch back, afraid to acknowledge what this threat is. All the way back from the beginning of Trump. You've heard me say this before, but in my prior life as a Republican, we Republicans would always laugh at Democrats because we knew Democrats would never fight back. We knew we could punch Democrats below the belt. We knew we could lie about Democrats. We knew we could do whatever the hell we wanted to. And Democrats wouldn't punch back, wouldn't fight back. That's still the case in this age of Trump. And I know you agree with me, even those Democrats listening to me. Democrats have not met this moment. Democrats have been absolute pussies in this age of Trump. Which is why Trump's been able to win, which is why Republicans have been able to win. And I can think of no better post or voice or tweet to typify what I'm talking about right now than what long-time Democratic talking head, expert, consultant, everything David Axelrod put out yesterday. Now, I'm not even, and I haven't touched this whole Natalie Harp thing. Natalie Harp is this weird young 35-year-old woman who works for Trump. The taxpayers pay her salary. She's Trump's human printer, his body man. She's with Trump everywhere he goes. Are they having an affair or not? I don't know, and I could care less. It's weird. She's weird. It's a weird relationship. She travels with him everywhere on our dime. I pretty much ignored the story. But Jon Ossoff, who's Georgia's senator running for re-election, gave a speech 2 days ago, and in the speech he had a throwaway line going after Natalie Harp, saying, while we're struggling out there, while Americans are struggling to put food on their table, Donald Trump is flying all over the planet on his gold-plated plane with Natalie. That's all he said. And Republicans are jumping on Ossoff for going after a government staffer. Fuck that. Taxpayers pay her salary. She's this close to the president. She's 35 years old. She can be gone after. But Republicans have all come to her defense and all gone after Ossoff. What a gratuitous attack that was. That's below the belt, said Scott Jennings. How dare you demean this young woman, insinuate her and Trump are having an affair. On and on it went from Republicans. And most folks out there, most Democratic folks out there, like me, say, what the fuck? Good. Ossoff punched back. Big deal. You're accusing Trump of having a weird fucking relationship with this 35-year-old woman? Great. So what? Say it. But some Democrats have called out Jon Ossoff for taking a shot at Natalie Harp. And generally, the Democrats, the wise old Democrats who've said, Jon Ossoff, you shouldn't have done that. That's way too gratuitous, way too mean-spirited. You shouldn't do that, Jon Ossoff. Generally, the Democrats who've responded this way are the old fucking dinosaur Democratic talking heads like David Axelrod, who've been around for 1,000 years. Why the fuck is David Axelrod still on CNN? It just slays me. Why the fuck does anybody listen to James Carville? It just slays me, but I get distracted. David Axelrod put out a post yesterday which just typifies Democratic pussyism. If that's not a word, it is now. Keith, do we have Axelrod's post, tweet, whatever the heck it was? Thanks. David Axelrod, right? Obama's right-hand man all the way back. He's been Mr. Smart Democratic consultant forever. Axelrod yesterday posting, no one's been more eloquent going after Trump than Jon Ossoff. The weekend speech, his speech this weekend was a great takedown, but 2 words in it with Natalie were gratuitous and unnecessary. Basically, Axelrod saying even mentioning Natalie Harp was gratuitous and unnecessary. Probably thrilled the base, David Axelrod said. because it's just given Trump, right, a dose of his own nasty medicine, but it distracted, said the wise old David Axelrod, from what Jon Ossoff was trying to say. David Axelrod, 200-year-old Mr. Democratic smart guy, does not approve of Jon Ossoff taking a shot at whoever the hell this Natalie Harp is. Thanks, Keith. And the whole point of what I'm saying right now has nothing to do with Natalie Harp and really has nothing to do with Donald Trump. It's got everything to do with the Democratic Party. If you want to fucking win, you got to fucking fight. And you got to punch Trump over and over. You got to kick him. You got to kick him in the balls. You got to knee him in the kneecaps. You got to do whatever you can to Republicans and Donald Trump. I don't want to hear. By the way, Democrats, do you want to win? Right? I'll give you a clue right now. If you want to win, Democrats, ignore old Democratic dinosaurs like David Axelrod. Ignore them. It just slays me that in this age of Trump, where every fucking day Donald Trump says 1,000 cruel, demeaning, insulting, ugly things about anyone, a lot of the times women. And David Axelrod is all bent out of shape because Jon Ossoff, in a 45-minute speech, included 2 words in that speech with Natalie. John Ossoff, I'm David Axelrod. Did you know I was best friends with Barack Obama? That's unnecessary. That's a little mean-spirited. Do you understand that nothing in this age of Trump is mean-spirited? Like, I don't want to say all bets are off and forget all the rules, throw all the rules out of the window right now, throw the political protocol rule book out the window right now, but yeah, do it. It's simple to me, Democrats. Do you want to win or not? Are you going to fight or not? Trump has won twice. Republicans control the House and the Senate, Democrats, because you've been pussies. You have not fought back. You've been timid. You have not understood this moment. You have not met this moment. You have not understood the unique threat is. Think about it from this perspective. For the first time in American history, this great, good, decent country has a fascist in the White House. And David Axelrod and people like Axelrod are bothered that certain Democrats are going below the belt in some of the shots that they take at Trump. Do you understand how bizarre that is? We've said this before. We've got a guy right now burning our fucking house down, and David Axelrod says to all of us who are trying to put out the fire, hey, watch your language. While Trump's burning the house down, would you please behave, Democrats? Please be nice. Watch your language. Don't be too mean-spirited in what you say about the guy who's burning our fucking house down. So says the wise old sage who CNN still puts on TV almost every night. It's like this ain't 1995 or 6 anymore. Right? We've said that how many times? This isn't Bob Dole reaching across the aisle to shake hands with Bill Clinton. We don't fucking live in that America anymore. We live in America right now where the very thing our founders feared sits in the White House, and he's burning our fucking democracy down right now. So right now, I don't have time, David Axelrod, to go back to a time, David Axelrod, where Bob Dole was shaking hands and breaking bread with President Bill Clinton. Don't have time for that right now. Got to put the fire out. Please, Democrats. I know Democratic voters get this, which is why Democrats are tending to nominate fighters. Too left, too Democratic socialist, too far left, sure, fine, it is what it is, but Democrats just want somebody who will fucking fight. John Ossoff, by taking that shot at Trump, that personal shot at Trump, and it was a shot at Trump, he used Natalie Harp to take a shot at Trump. We're all struggling out here. Trump's putting gold everywhere. Trump's got all these vanity projects. He's flying on one of his planes with Natalie while you're struggling. It was a purposeful shot at Donald Trump. Fucking A, I'm glad he took it. Fucking A, I want him to do it again. I want Democrats to do this shit all the time. Do you understand me? David Axelrod doesn't understand me. There ain't nothing below the belt in this age of Trump. Nothing is below the belt. Enough. Democrats, to win, ignore the David Axelrods of the world. Please. Hey, $40 trillion, right, Keith? Did I read that right? Did I see a headline right? There it is, brother. Thank you. Way to go, America. 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 Let's pat ourselves on the back, baby. Screw our kids and our grandkids and our great-grandkids and our great-great-grandkids. Screw them. Who gives a damn about them? Screw them. $40 trillion in debt we just soared by. We're not going to have to pay it off. That's not ours. You and I will be long gone. Republican, Democrat, Independent, doesn't matter who you are. Those of us in our 50s, 60s, and 70s, fucking A, we don't have to pay this debt back. That's our kids, our grandkids, our great-grandkids. Round of applause, America, for us. Our national debt reached and flew right on by $40 trillion yesterday. For some perspective. Thanks, Keith. Little old me running for Congress. When I announced back in the fall of 2009 that I was going to run for Congress, I ran, I got into that race. I came out of nowhere to run for Congress in 2010 because I was pissed off then about the debt. And when I announced I was running for Congress back in 2010, the debt was $11 trillion. And I was apoplectic about the debt then when it was $11 trillion. Yesterday, we soared back past $40 trillion when I was sworn in as a member of Congress in January of 2011, when I raised my right hand and swore to uphold and defend the United States Constitution. In January of 2011, the debt was $13 trillion. We're now past 40 trillion. The debt was the reason I ran. You've heard me say this before. The very first speech I gave was, my name is Joe Walsh. I'm running for Congress, and I'm pissed off at both political parties for bankrupting future generations. I was genuinely pissed off back then. That's when the debt was $11 trillion. Couple points. It was the issue back then. When our national debt was 11, 12, 13 trillion dollars, it was the issue. It's what animated the Tea Party. It's what the debt, this out of control government debt, is what launched the Tea Party. Even Democrats back then gave lip service to the debt. It's all people talked about back then. Today, nobody talks about the debt. We soared past 40 trillion. Boom! It'll be off the headlines today. Today, we'll be talking about what Trump said. We'll be talking about Natalie Harp. We'll be talking about this and that, who's up and down. Oh my God, Lindsey Graham's sister, who's running for the Senate in South Carolina, she doesn't know the first thing about anything. That's all we'll be talking about, shit like that today. Nobody will be talking about the debt, certainly not by the weekend. And in another few years, when we soar past 50 trillion, it'll be a one-day story. The blame? Well, I know Democrats get pissed off about this, but this is this is a both sides issue. Both parties got us here. When you look at the numbers, the debt soared under Obama, the debt soared under Biden, the debt soared under Trump, the debt is soaring again under Trump. Both parties, presidents from both parties, members of Congress from both parties. Now, Republicans back in the day were the party of we care about the debt. They paid lip service to that. We now know they never believed it. They never believed it. Me and Jim Jordan and all of us, we screamed about the debt when Barack Obama was president. But their orange god, Donald Trump, the self-proclaimed king of debt, under Trump, Republicans don't even talk about the debt anymore. They stopped talking about the debt from the moment Trump first got elected. They talked about it a little bit more when Biden was president, but boom, Republicans don't talk about it or don't care about it. And I know a lot of people argue with me. I've got to write the book one day about who and what the Tea Party really fucking was, right? But this was the most powerful animating force of the Tea Party, but then the Tea Party lost their way. The Tea Party became MAGA. And MAGA doesn't give a damn about the debt. MAGA is mostly concerned with bowing down every day to their orange god, keeping brown and black people out of this country. MAGA is a movement that doesn't care about the debt. So it's easy to blame presidents from both sides. It's easy to blame members of Congress from both sides. But you know what? The American people don't give a fuck about the debt. All these Tea Party patriots out there, all my former friends and followers and supporters, they no longer fucking care about or talk about the debt. They stopped the moment Trump got elected. I don't have time right now to say, oh my God, Joe, what are we going to do about the debt? You know what we're going to do about the debt? You know what we have to do about that debt? The first thing we have to do about the debt is to put it back on the front pages. Put it front and center. Make it an issue that we care about. Until we're there, why even talk about fucking solutions? Why even talk about answers? Because our political class doesn't care about the debt. The American people don't care about the debt. So why go through the machinations of saying this is what we need to do, right? We need to raise taxes on wealthier Americans. We need to reform our entitlements. Mandatory spending is driving our debt. Healthcare. Mandatory spending on healthcare for the American people who are living longer and longer and longer. That's the single biggest driver of our debt. But nobody wants to talk about that. Again, sorry, kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids. My generation, we got to have the best healthcare in the world right now. We're going to live till 90, and we're playing golf in our communities until we're 90. We don't care if it's going to bankrupt you. Why even get into conversations like that? When Americans right now in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s don't give a flying fuck about our debt. If somebody paid me $1 million to spend the next year making Americans care about this issue, man, I'd go after that hog wild. And then we could do something about it. Because our politicians, Democratic and Republican, won't do a thing, lift a finger about this ticking time bomb until their constituents care. And right now, our politicians know their constituents don't give a damn. And even younger Americans don't talk about this. Younger Americans, all they can talk about is Gaza, Gaza, Gaza. Medicare for all, right? We need government to do more. We need government to spend more. We need more mandatory government spending when it comes to healthcare in this country. Medicare for all, every Democrat screams, not even understanding or giving a fuck about where and how that money might come from. No. We're fucked. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me catch myself. I'm not fucked. Most of you listening to me right now are not fucked. Our kids, our grandkids, our great-grandkids, and beyond are fucked. And they will remain fucked until the American people decide to give a damn about our debt. Last topic this morning. And if it seems like I'm in a bad mood, I am in a bad mood. Last topic. Fascism. Every day I scream about fascism. What do you mean, Joe? Give me an example, Joe. Everybody responds. Trump's a fascist, I say every day. Oh, Joe, what do you mean? Yeah, prove it, Joe. Give me an example. Show me. And every day I give examples. Every day there are examples. Here's just the latest. Fascism. This is what I mean by fascism. Keith, do we have the story of that dude? Do we have that post? Thank you, my friend. No, the other one. You're the best. Thank you, Keith. Last week, hey, fascism. You want to know what fascism is? This is fascism. And there shouldn't be fascism in America. Last week, ICE, those masked fascist federal thugs on our streets, last week in court, ICE admitted in court that they tracked down this dude named David Strever at his hotel with his 7-year-old daughter. They tracked him down in a hotel, this private citizen in a hotel, keep that up, Keith, in a hotel he was staying at with his 7-year-old daughter. These ICE agents pounded on his hotel daughter and they handed him a threatening letter from the government, from DHS. Why? Why did ICE agents track down a private citizen in America, found him in a hotel room on vacation with his 7-year-old daughter, and they pounded on his door and threw a threatening letter in his face? Why did they do that? Because this guy, David Strever, private American, sent an email to ICE Director Todd Lyons a few weeks ago. And in the email to the director of ICE, David Strever said, "You're a monstrous human being. You're going to go down in history as a monstrous human being, a butcher. What you and ICE are doing is utterly un-American. Shame on you. Shame on you. You're losing yourself. You've lost all your humanity. It's going to torment you. What you and ICE are doing is going to torment you for the rest of your life. Thanks, Keith. A private American exercising his First Amendment rights sends an email to the publicly available email for the director of ICE and says, you suck. Shame on you. You're a monster. What you and your organization are doing right now on our streets, it will haunt you for the rest of your life. A private American sends that email, exercises his First Amendment rights, and sends that email to the director of ICE. And within a matter of 2 weeks, the government, your government, my government, tracks this private American down because of what he said, because he exercised his First Amendment rights. And for every MAGA or brother or sister listening to me right now, you have a right, I have a right to call the head of ICE a fucking monster. You have a right to call Trump a monster in this country. You have a right to call Obama a monster in this country. You have a right to call any Democrat or any Republican a monster. You have a right to say shame on you. You have a right to say because of what you're doing, you're going to be tormented the rest of your life. We have a right as Americans to say that. This is fascism. This is fascism. This is the stuff of authoritarian fascist regimes. The government tracks down a private American, pounds on his door, throws a threatening letter his way, saying, shut the fuck up. You can't talk that way. I'm actually surprised they didn't arrest him. But that's what we're getting to. In front of his 7-year-old daughter. What is fascism? I'm asked every single day. Here's just one example of fascism. Should not go on in America. This kind of thing should never happen in America. But it is. This is just one example. So it's not an exaggeration at all to call ICE a fascist organization and to call our government right now fascist. And by the way, Paxos.app, thanks, Keith. There's the link, Paxos.app, our Know Your Rights tool that we developed back in April, put out on the streets back in April. It works on any single phone device. It's a tool that where anybody, any immigrant, any citizen can go to know what they can and cannot do when ICE knocks on their door, when they confront ICE, when they go when they go protest ICE. A tool, a Know Your Rights tool to know how to lawfully, legally, and pragmatically, practically fight back against ICE when they encounter ICE. This tool is being used by immigrants and citizens all over the country. Go check it out yourself, Paxos.app. There it is right there, Paxos.app. The tool, the Know Your Rights tool, is free of charge. If you like it, share it with people you know, share it with organizations who deal with immigrants, people in need in this country when it comes to what ICE is doing. And as always, we're self-funding this thing. We're crowdfunding this thing. We've got a GoFundMe page. Check out Paxos. If you like what you see and you're duly inspired to contribute 10, 20 bucks or more, feel free. Paxos.app. My Substack, Social Contract with JoeWalsh.substack.com. I am a lousy, my butt hurts. I'm a lousy self-promoter. My wife lovingly reminds me of that every single day. the single most important way that you can help me keep this unique voice out there is to become a subscriber in my Substack. So please just check out my Substack, Social Contract with joewalsh.substack.com. Everything I do, say, think, feel, write is there. Check it out. If you like it, if you find value in my voice, no hard sell. Consider becoming a subscriber. That would be just awesome. Finally, if you've got anything on your mind you'd like to put in front of me, send me an email about anything, the social contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. All one word, the social contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Have a good Thursday. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, follow, and share The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple, Spotify. Plus, don't forget to subscribe to The Social Contract on Substack. This has been The Social Contract with Joe Walsh.